Inside the Lines is brought to you by Hendrick Honda of Charleston. When you buy a new or pre-owned vehicle, our Advantage program takes care of you for life. Make Hendrick Honda of Charleston your first choice for your next vehicle. Visit their showroom at 1478 Savannah Highway in Charleston or online at charlestonhonda.com. And welcome to Inside the Lines here on CFCSports.com. I'm Jeff McCarrick, our first episode of the year. A lot to talk about. We'll have the show for you each week right here on CFCSports.com. A new era of athletics here at the College of Charleston, as CFC officially made the move from the Southern Conference to the CAA. That move became official in July, and the team's already underway. Women's golf, men's golf, volleyball, a lot of sports have already started action. Soccer as well. We'll start with women's golf. The 11th annual Cougar Classic was this weekend at Yeamans Hall up in Hanahan. Girls have always played very well. This year they played exceptionally well. All 3 days, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, right there at the top of the leaderboard. And wouldn't you know it, by the time it was all said and done, CFC finishes in third place, just 2 strokes off the lead, as Florida ends up being your back-to-back champions. Here are the top 5 against CFC, just 2 strokes back of Florida, who finished overall at 8:59. There you see Clemson finished just 1 stroke back, and then the College of Charleston at 8:61. It was a terrific tournament, great weather. It's, of course, one of the top tournaments all year, 7 top 30 teams, and Jamie Futrell, the head coach of women's golf, and his team obviously very excited about where they finished.
It was a great event for us to be able to be in the last group. You know, we lost to Florida by 2 shots, Clemson by 1. Beat tons of SEC, ACC schools, Big Ten. It was just as good a weekend as you could imagine without winning, I guess.
Well, I thought it went really well, and obviously we all played really good. It was really exciting, and it was just a really solid tournament. We played well all weekend.
We all played well together as a team, and I thought it was really awesome that everyone had their backs, like even the individuals that came out there to root us on, which I think helped bring up everyone that was on the team.
We knew we were good. I didn't know we were going to be that good this early, and to shatter team records first time out gives us a lot to work for the rest of the season. Now we have to live up to what we've done here, but I'd rather be living up to something than trying to get there.
And congratulations again to Jamie Futrell, head coach, and all of his players as well. Terrific finish at the Cougar Classic, their best finish in school history. Now we'll transition from women's golf over to volleyball and talk about good starts. The volleyball team is off to a 7-0 start, one of their best starts in school history. And look at the competition so far. The Cougars coming off of an emotional win last weekend over their former coach Sherry Dunbar and Indiana. It was CFC's first ever win against a Big Ten team in volleyball. And of course, earlier in the season, they began with a tournament victory that was hosted by Georgia Tech. So a great start for CFC volleyball, now 7-0 to start the year. But it is not going to get any easier for the college. The Cougars will play in the Long Beach State Loyola Marymount tournament on Friday and Saturday, taking on Seattle on Friday at 2. And then they'll face Long Beach State, really a tough team. And they will be on their home court at 10 p.m. Eastern time. The action moves on Saturday across Los Angeles to Loyola Marymount's campus, where the Cougars will face LMU, who's 3-3 on the season, on Saturday night, also at 10 p.m. Eastern. A couple of wins in this weekend's tournament, and volleyball could be off to their best start in school history. Great start for Jason Kepner and the girls.
This team has always been successful. It's always started off on a good note. The best record would be great for this team. I would like it for the team. I think they're working really hard, and I would love for them to have that accomplishment. But I feel like if they lose, once they lose, it kind of goes away. So we're kind of going weekend by weekend. So we were 3-0 the first one, and now we're 7-0, and we're kind of going to the next one. We're looking for 3-0. 3-0 would give us the best one, but 2-1, depending on when you lose, could either give you the record or not give you the record. So I don't really know if the record matters as much to me and the players as it does getting another tournament title and continuing to try to improve. I think each weekend we've improved, and that's kind of our goal.
Long Beach has a serious history. They are a good program, and playing Loyola and Seattle, it's going to be a high-level competition, and we've been successful so far with good competition, and hopefully we'll carry that streak into this weekend.
I'm excited and I'm nervous. No, I think it's gonna be really fun. I have a huge family, so a lot of my extended family members are gonna be there, and my friends from California, and I think it'll be really fun. We have the same energy we had against Indiana, against these big teams out there. I think it should make for a really good match.
I think going into it, we're going to have 3 very good coach teams, and what we're going to have to do is do a lot of the small details very well to keep us hard to defend. If we get to a position where we're pretty easy to defend, I think good coaches are going to be able to find ways to pick teams apart. So I think that's kind of what we're looking for when we make our trip out west.
Again, a great start for the volleyball team, 7-0, a couple of wins this weekend, and a chance to get off to their best start in school history. So we'll be keeping track this weekend of CFC volleyball. Also, congratulations to Darcy Dorton, again named the CAA Offensive Player of the Week. She was also the tournament MVP here at TD Arena during the CFC Hampton Inn Invitational. We will take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little soccer. Men's and women's soccer have been in action as well. We'll preview their action coming up this weekend right after this here on Inside the Lines.
At Hendrick Honda of Charleston, you get our best price every day. When you buy a new or pre-owned vehicle, our Advantage program takes care of you for life. We offer a lifetime powertrain limited warranty, free towing and shuttle service, complimentary loaner cars, and paintless dent repair. Make Hendrick Honda of Charleston your first choice for your next vehicle. Visit us today at 1478 Savannah Highway in Charleston or online at charlestonhonda.com.
Welcome back to Inside the Lines here on CFCSports.com. Thanks for tuning in. Again, our first episode of the year, and already some teams off to great starts with volleyball and women's golf. We'll switch now over to soccer. We'll start with women's soccer. Over the last 3 games, they've gone 1-2. However, over the last weekend, they went 1-1 in the Charleston Cup, and by virtue of a tiebreaker, ended up winning the Charleston Cup. They had the win against VCU, a big win for the program, 2-1 was the final, and then a narrow loss to Kent State by a final of 1-0. But again, champions of the Charleston Cup in their own event. Looking ahead now for women's soccer, and this is going to be a tough schedule coming up on Friday, September 13th at Auburn at 7 p.m. And then just 48 hours later, they will be at Georgia against the Bulldogs at 2 p.m. Then a few days off to come back to class, and then the following week on the road again up in Charlotte against UNC Charlotte at 7 p.m. on Friday, September 20th. Got the chance to catch up with Christian Mitchner, the head coach, and talk about all the travel coming up.
Last week was a bit of a mixed bag. We were really excited about the win against VCU on Friday night. Good quality side out of the Atlantic 10. And we knew that was going to be a tough match, and so we're proud of ourselves for the effort we gave, and certainly the result. The players worked extremely hard. Sunday was just a bit of a different story. You know, we had Sunday legs, and Sunday's become a battle of attrition sometimes, and we just weren't able to put together some of the same movements and things that we had on Friday night. You know, and so we need to be able to be successful. We need to be able to sort out Sundays to make sure that we can compete at the highest level, and certainly our conference title game is on a Sunday, so we're going to need to figure that out before first week of November. We're excited about playing against Georgia and Auburn, 2 great sides respectively out of the SEC, certainly. We know we're going to be put under a lot of pressure against their athletes, and they do have many, so we've been really focusing on composure on the ball, confident possession, and when we don't have the ball, organizing together as a unit to try and win the ball back, and limiting some of the crazy runs that we did defensively this weekend, and which got us in trouble on Sunday. So, really just composure on the ball. When we've got it, how can we attack out of that? And when we don't have it, how can we be organized to win it back?
Again, a tough part of the schedule coming up with back-to-back-to-back road games, so good luck to the women's soccer team as they hit the road here over the next couple of weeks. Switch from the women's side over to the men's side. Ralph Lundy and his team, as you can see over the last 3 games, now 1-2. They had a close loss in overtime to Furman on the 7th by a final of 1-0. Big win, though, over number 27 Xavier by a final of 1-0. And then, of course, lost to Akron, number 8 team in the country by a final of 2-0. As you can see, it's been a tough schedule for Ralph Lundy and the guys over the last 3 games. And again, the toughest loss was that overtime loss most recently at Furman. Now, coming up for men's soccer, Friday the 13th against Vermont at 7 o'clock. You can see that right here on CFCSports.com. And then Friday, September 20th, the guys hit the road at Stanford at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Sunday at Cal at 6:30.
The guys played a great game, and it was a very good game played by both teams. Furman's tough team, quality. Bottom line is we didn't win. We lost in overtime. So I'm not happy. I don't like it. The boys don't like it, which I'm happy that they're mad about it, upset. I would have liked to seen a better result on the scoreboard for them because they worked hard. Well, they're undefeated and they're having a good season. I think they're 3-0-1. They're doing great. They got good players from the Northeast, good players from Toronto. Play a tough schedule. They do a great job every year. So it'll be a very competitive game.
That'll wrap things up for our first episode of Inside the Lines here on CFCSports.com. Thanks for tuning in. Next week, we'll have our first athlete feature here at Inside the Lines. It'll be a new feature that we'll have each week. We'll talk with Kara Howley. She is the right side hitter and middle blocker for the volleyball team. And I don't know what that means, but she's going to tell us, and we'll talk to her. And also, you won't want to miss 5 burning questions with Kara Howley. That'll come your way next week right here in Inside the Lines. Also this week, if you want to reach out to us with any of your questions or comments, you can reach us on Twitter at CFC Video, or email us questions anytime, insidethelines@gmail.com. That's insidethelines@gmail.com. My thanks to Kyle Apat. He's right there. I'm Jeff McCarriger. We'll talk to you again next week right here in Inside the Lines.